Now tell me how to share, Deborah.
Okay, so we are now live on Blue Table Talk. Hi, I'm your host, Deborah Jones, and I have a good guest here tonight. But before we get into that, we always talk about COVID. So let's go ahead and talk about the COVID is still out there. Yeah, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's still out there. You still have to wear your mask. You still have to wash your hands. You still have to watch your distance. So do the three W's, and I promise you, I can't say that you will not get it, but you keep yourself safe from it. Okay, so now remember, if you need to be tested, see if you have COVID. There are several places and more that you can go, but I always just give you a few of them, which is Beaumont Urgent Care. That's on North Major Drive. Um, the phone number there is 409-333-1272. And MD Kids Pediatrics, which is on 490 I-10 North Frontage Road, Suite 100. It's 409-212-9988. And you can do Chris's Prompt 2 on Dowling, is next to Hobby Lobby. Um, they only do the testing on Saturdays, but they do the vaccines every day during the week. But you can check them out on Saturday for the testing. If you haven't received your vaccine, a lot of people have received the first one and the second one, and keep them safe from the coronavirus. Now, it does not mean that you won't catch a COVID, but if you did catch it, then it won't be as bad. Let me put that out there. Okay, so right now we have 12.9% people in the United States who have received their vaccine, which is awesome. Let's keep it up. Let's keep going because we need to reach herd immunity. And when we reach herd immunity, they've already opened up a lot of states, majority of the states. But if we reach herd immunity, we don't have to worry about anything. So let's come on. If you have not received your vaccine, go out and receive. They have 3 out there. Wait, where 4 really? They have the Moderna, they have the Pfizer, they have Johnson and Johnson, and the other one I can't remember the name of that, but they don't push it as much. But they have 4 vaccines out there, so just take one of them. And once you listen to this. If you take the Pfizer, don't go take Moderna for the second vaccine. If you take Pfizer the first time, take Pfizer the second time. If you take Moderna the first time, take Moderna the second time. Now Johnson and Johnson, you only take that one time. So let's do what we're supposed to do and to keep ourselves safe. Okay. Let's talk about voting. This Thursday, which is day after tomorrow, is the last day to register to vote. Now, if you have not registered to vote, please go out there. You know somebody who has not registered to vote. Please go out there and register to vote because it is so ludicrous that we vote in the local elections. Now we did a fantastic job when we voted president and all the rest of them Senate. But when it comes to our local, this is what matters, your local elections. So last day to register to vote is Thursday, April the 1st. Now, if you've been incarcerated and you think that you cannot vote, check with Jefferson County. And the voters registration is 409-835-8475 and ask them, see if you are eligible to vote. Because just because you've been incarcerated does not mean you can't vote. You can vote. Just check with the Jefferson County Voters Registration Office. They will tell you more than anybody else could tell you. Okay, so early voting starts Monday, April the 19th through Tuesday, April the 27th, 2021. The last day to apply for the mail-in ballot, to apply for the mail-in ballot is Tuesday, April the 20th. Now, the last day to receive ballot by mail, which will be May the 1st, which will be election day. It has to be at that courthouse, May 1st, which is election day. Okay, so let's see who's running. We have at a mayor, we have Ron West, we got Hernandez Smith, W.L. Pate, Robin Mouton, and LaShawn Proctor. Councilman at large, we have A.J. Turner, Randy Felshow, James Eller Jr., Elias Ibarra, Brian Nufo, Tahar Karashi. Ward 1, we have Taylor Neal, Ward 2, we have Mike Getz, Miles Haynes, Alfred Dean. Ward 3, we have Audrey Samuel, Robert Walker. And Ward 4, we have Brandon Johnson, Kevin Reese, and Charles Durio. Okay, so those are your candidates for election. Okay, so tonight we have with us, it's Nancy Larzo. Yeah, let's give Nancy a hand. I know most of us know Nancy. But that was the wrong hand, Nancy. One of these gonna give you a hand, but I forgot which one it was. I should
at everybody.
Okay, let me read a little bit about Nancy Larzo. A lot of you might know Nancy, a lot of you don't know, but let me give her a little introduction and let you hear her bio. Nancy, Minister Nancy Larzo, is the daughter of Pearlie Mae Wright Hainsley and late David Franklin Hainsley Sr. And she came from Vidalia, Georgia. She is a mother of 6 beautiful children and a grandmother of 24 grandchildren. You feel me on that one? I just told Nancy just now. I said, Nancy, I did not know that. I knew you had some grandchildren, but I didn't know you had all them. But that is awesome. That is real awesome. Okay, so let's see. She taught school for 35 years and is a certified retired teacher from the Beaumont Independent School District. Great job. And is a licensed ordained minister at Cathedral Praise Miracle Center in Beaumont, where Apostle McKinney August is a senior pastor. She's also a writer and the author of Handful Hands of Measuring, which is her very first publishing work by Arthur House. She also has a children's CD out that's entitled The Multiplication Facts with a Jingle. In addition to that, she is a motivational educational speaker and a CEO, owner, and talk show host of Vision Speaks Phase 2, which recently aired a Christmas special on December 25th, 2020. Prior to all the above, Nancy was and is known for her athletic ability in Vidalia, Georgia, where she was an outstanding basketball player. She was number 23. Mm-hmm. Okay, so and she was also a track star. She set a state record in 1973 in Atlanta, Georgia, in the 800-meter run. This year, Minister Nancy was highlighted as a Southeast Texas African-American author for Black History Month by the Top Teens of America in our Beaumont chapter. Great job, Nancy. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you, present to others, Minister Nancy Hainsley Larzo. Good afternoon, Nancy. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Deborah. How are you today?
I am just tickled pink to have you on Blue Table Talk tonight. It just makes me feel so good that you accepted the offer. So I appreciate you. I really do.
Well, I just want to thank you too, Deborah, because I remember you asked me early on months ago concerning being on your show. And I just thank God for you. And I just give God all the glory and honor because truly he is so amazing. And you're doing an amazing job with your show.
Oh, love.
I don't take it for granted. I'm so honored and humbled to be on Blue Table Talk with no other than Deborah Jones.
You're going to make me blush. You're going to make me blush. So, you have some people on here saying hello to you. We got Veronica on here right now.
Hello, Veronica. Hi.
And you have Cheryl LeBlanc on here. So they'll be coming. And they're going to, I want you guys to ask questions. And while you on here, I want you to go ahead and push your share button. Look at your, look on your computer or phone, whatever you got, you'll see share on there and push that share button so other people can see Nancy Larzo and hear what she has to offer us. Let's talk about your book first, because you have a book out right now, Nancy, and I am so excited about that. It is called
The Glory, yes.
Let's see. It is called Helpful Hands for Measuring. So tell me about Helpful Hands for Measuring.
Okay, here's the book that Deborah is telling you about, front and back. Okay, about the book, Deborah, I wrote the book based on a 4th grade class that I taught the year 2006, 2007 at Ogden Elementary School here in Beaumont School District. However, I had a very, very challenging class that particular year. And like many other years, sometimes, we get the challenging students. I would always pray and I would ask God, because my goal was to make sure that every child can and would learn, that I would, teach as the same as yourself. So we always aim to teach and touch every child that we had. So I would pray and I asked God, help me, Lord, give me a way to teach this lesson that's going to help these children learn and remember what they're learning so that they can apply it when they need it. And so true enough, one day I was just up on my feet teaching, and right in the drop of a second, I would say, in a split second, God himself, he just downloaded all that information into me, and I was able to do it a different way. And when I began to do it that way, it was like, wow, it was blowing my mind, because I knew I didn't come up with it. It's not like I sat down and planned it out. It just happened automatically. And it was because I had prayed, you hear me? And I've learned that if we acknowledge God in everything we do, he will direct our path, and he will give you some amazing ways. He will give you some amazing ways to do things. So he gave me an amazing way to teach those kids, and I was using my hands. And the way I would use my hands is just like you see on the book. When I was doing the linear measurement, and I started with the thumb, and they had the tools for measuring. And then I named each one from least, starting with the pinky. I started with the inch, the foot, the yard, the mile. And the thumb says tools for measuring. And so what God gave me was to take all those tools and let those tools be a character. And so you know about personification, Deborah. So what I ended up doing was giving lifelike characteristics to inhuman objects such as the ruler, the yard, the mile, the foot, and everything just flowed on like that. And so the kids were excited, and so was their teacher. I was excited, and they were engaged. They were so engaged. Right. And of course, we had other things, hands-on things that we used to teach. So it was just so amazing, and I just give God the glory and honor for that. Yeah. And that's how that book came to be. Help Things for Measuring.
Things for measure good.
Nancy, I want to tell you another thing about this book, though. I want to say this, Deborah. I wrote the book. You heard me say I wrote it 2006, 2007 school year. However, the book just got published August 31st, 2020. The book sat on the shelf for 13 long years. And that book just sat there. So during COVID-19, of course, during the month of May, the Lord dealt with me about it. And he said, it's time, get the book out. So I did, and I pursued what God told me to do. And I thank God we have the book, Helpful Hands for Measuring.
Yeah. During COVID, we've done a lot of things and made it come to pass, because we had time to, whatever vision that we had time to birth it.
That's right. And we still have time.
We still have time. Nancy and I taught school together. So, we remember some good days. And we remember
that's so bad. Oh my goodness, yes.
You know what? So you know what, Nancy? The good days outweigh the bad days. So that was
you're right about that. Yes, you're right about that.
Right, and so we know that children in school, when it comes to measuring and when it comes to math, period, it's hard for them to collect it. And so you have to birth it out of them, and So, and that's with anybody, but it starts with the babies. You have to birth that out of them, and that measuring, they had a hard time with that measuring. I wish you would have had that book when we were teaching school, and that would have been it would have been perfect.
Oh yes, absolutely.
You shared it with the kids and stuff like that, and I know they would have loved it. So I thank God for that. I thank God for you for doing that, because it's going to help a lot of children when they're in school.
Yes. And if you don't mind, Deborah, can I read just one page right here?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to read the page about yard. Yard is also an instrument used, a tool that we use for measuring. And when I was teaching the kids, and Deborah too, we taught them to use the baseball bat to remind them the length of a yard. So
Yeah.
here you see my character.
Bring it up a little bit.
Um,
Okay. Yeah, we
like a
yes,
baseball bat.
yeah.
And I'm going to read this particular page to you. It says, "Hi, my name is Yard. I'm about the length of a baseball bat. I'm equivalent to 36 inches, and 3-foot rulers connected together equal me. You can hear my name called over and over at every football game. There are 100 of me on a football field. I am very popular, you see. Anyone who knows the game of football is very familiar with me."
Wow.
And
Wow.
so I just love that. And
Right.
so, they each character tell his or her own story. I made
Right.
some of the characters females, some are males, because the class that I taught, boys
Right.
and girls, and some are Hispanic, some African Americans, and so
Okay.
forth. A couple of them. So I did that. I didn't make them all African American.
Right. Right.
So I
So
did.
is your book out in the stores right now?
The book is not out in the stores, but it's on most online bookstores because my publisher, Author House, with the package that I purchased, I only purchased the online bookstore packages.
Okay.
And so, but in the future, I plan to get it out in the stores. However, it's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Author House, especially if anybody wants to order, I recommend that they order from Author House because
Mhm.
that's how I make most of my money, from Author House.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I don't mind telling you, you can get it from Amazon, but if you want to help me, order from Author House, my publisher.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
My next question would have been how long did it take you to write the book? But you told me it took 13 years, right?
No, ma'am. The book sat on the shelf 13 years. I
Yeah.
wrote the book in less than a week's time.
Oh,
Less
okay.
than a week's time because God gave me the lesson to teach while I was
Right.
on my feet teaching. So it's
Right.
like everything. It took about 10 weeks to teach the whole unit that we were teaching on measuring. However, the book was already, I just had to sit down and put everything together. So it didn't
Right.
take long to do that at all.
So that's why when I was trying to ask you a question, when we were teaching using and writing that book.
Oh no! Oh no! The book was already written then.
Using and writing that
It
book.
was already written then.
Now it's coming out.
Yeah. No, I had already written it.
So next,
Oh yes.
what is your work schedule like when you're writing?
When I'm writing, the work schedule. You
Yeah.
mean here now?
Yeah. Because I know
Um,
you're still writing, right?
I am still writing. I have 3 books that I have already written,
Right.
and they all are children books so far. And I do have a devotional that I'm working on. But once I set my mind to it, I have to sit down and get it done. And I try to write, as long as I'm in the mood for writing, I write. But once it stops, then I stop.
Yeah,
And whenever it hits me, I sit down and write. But I do have a passion. I have a
Right.
passion. I always had a passion for writing children's books, even children's books growing up. And I never, thought that I would have a book out. But I thank God, because that passion that burning desire never left me. It was always in there. So I'm just so thankful that finally, God blessed me to be able to birth this book. And the other books are going to be coming out soon.
Yeah.
And those books are more like books to entertain. I do have another math book entitled I Can Measure, which is a first grade book that I've written. And
Okay.
that one is on first grade level. So I'm going to get that one out as well.
One lady, which is one of your ex coworkers, she said, "Hello, Miss Larzo. You are amazing. Congratulations on your book."
Oh, Cheryl Neighbors. Hi, Cheryl. You are too. And thank you so much.
And Jocelyn West also says, "Congratulations on your book."
Thank you, Jocelyn West. Thank you so much.
Veronica Redmond says, "Hello, Miss Larzo and Miss Jones."
Oh, hello. Hi, Veronica Redmond. We love you, girl.
2 4th-grade teachers.
Yes.
Okay, so what would you say is your interesting writing quirk?
What you mean by quirk?
Mean that when you're writing, how do you feel about writing? And what interests you to write?
It's like I said, I have such a passion inside me to write. Writing is not hard for me. And Deborah, they used to call me the writing queen. However, for a while I wore that crown, but then you know what? I said it's time for somebody else to take this crown now because I'm burnt out. I got so burnt out from teaching writing. However, when I write, I usually try to be sensitive to whatever God has given me, and most of my writings will be coming from things that I did in the classroom because those are the things that God gave me to do with those students. And I do know if those things help those students, then they're going to help other students as well. So it's like once I put my mind to it, I start thinking back. Okay, I can remember bits and pieces, some of the things that I'm putting on paper now. So it's like it's not hard for me. However, I don't try to finish everything at one time. I try to pace myself. I may write one day, may not write the next day, maybe the next 2 days I'll write something like that. And sometimes I can finish something straight through. Like the first grade book that I wrote, I can measure. It took me a couple of hours to get that done.
Right.
So
I can measure, and the book that you have for hand for measuring, they're all kind of like on the same level, but
because really, actually, I Can Measure is coming from this book. However, I just broke it down into a way that the first graders and maybe preschoolers can understand. I made it more simpler. I simplified it.
Yeah. So when you gonna publish that one also?
I am, and I think that's going to be helpful to us, well, to teachers, because when we had children in the 4th grade, they didn't know anything about measuring. They didn't know, how to use the ruler. And if with the I Can Measure book, in that book, I'm teaching the kids about the inch and what an inch is, what it looks like. And then I teach some of the other twos as well. So I don't want to really spill the beans about the book, but it breaks everything down. And it's going to be a little short book, but at least the children will come. They will have some knowledge about measuring and the tools that we use to measure.
For those of you who do not know, Nancy Larzo was a 4th grade teacher, a 3rd grade, 4th grade teacher. Well, she was a teacher, period, in Beaumont Independent School District. And like I said earlier, we talked together. And so I thought tonight that I would bring her up because she does have this book out. And to me, Nancy, I think that you need to take it to BISD and see if they could put it out for you. You got to do some walking.
That's right.
You got to do some walking. Get your stuff out. And because nobody's going to do it for you, you're going to have to do it for yourself. Yeah. That's
right. Yes. Yeah. And I plan to do that, Deborah. But due to COVID-19, some people were not allowed to go into the administration building for a while.
I went there yesterday, and I rang the doorbell. So I said, "Girl, y'all not let me in."
Well, did they let you? Did they let you in?
Whoever I wanted or whoever I needed, they called me to the front, and then they met me at the front and everything. So I gave them what I needed to give them, and I was on my way. So I said, "But I suppose I gotta, do something else." So they said,
"That's right.
Go home. You got to go."
Nobody but Deborah Jones can do that.
I truly understand.
So that's one whole bad. But I would say this. At Charlton Pollard, the principal, she did purchase the book, as well as most of the teachers there purchased the book. Especially my sisters, our sisters purchased the book. Not only did they purchase the book, some while they were teaching measurement, they used the book to help teach their measurement lessons. So I was very happy about that. I was able to read the book to a 3rd grade class when I subbed there some months ago. I was able to read it, and they enjoyed the book. As a matter of fact, some of the students came up asking me how could they get the book, or could I give the information to their parents. So
right. Look at you, girl, sneaking that book in school.
Well, they told me I could read it. They did. And then they asked if they could read it over the intercom. So, hey, praise the Lord.
Did you let them do it? Did you? Okay.
Well, yes, I okayed it.
Okay, good. So how did you get your book published?
Okay, let me back up 1 minute. Before I did all that, Deborah, before the publishing, I'm going to tell you about that. But I just have to give a shout out to Dr. Belinda George, because she's one of the principals in the BISD school district, an awesome principal who's known for her Tucked In Tuesday. She had me on her Tucked In Tuesday, in which I did a virtual with her. And oh my goodness, awesome. That's all I can say. And she was so instrumental in helping me to get it out there.
I remember that night she read your book.
Oh, yes, that was in October. So, yay, Dr. George. Yay. She's still doing an awesome job. You know, she's really getting a lot of authors out there. And she's doing a great job with the program Tuesday Tuesday. So the way I got my book published, like I said, it was already sitting on the shelf. And I'm going to tell you this, I had a hold up with a lot of the illustrations. And as some people don't know this, but I did some of my illustrations myself. What I did, I drew some of them because some people were trying to help me, but it wasn't quite what I wanted. So what I did, I prayed. Once again, I prayed. And I was able to just sketch them. And the illustrator, she enhanced what I did. And so that all came from a whole nother company. However, Author House published my book. I had to send in the manuscript to them, had to send everything in by way of email. And once I got it into them, they got it in the textbook format for me. I had to proofread it myself. I had to be the one to make sure there were no mistakes and what have you. And I made sure of that. And so, because I was the only one to, proofread and edit. However, once I got all that done, then I had to be responsible to get my illustrations to Author House so that they can put them with my book. Right. So I would tell them, like, they asked me, okay, how do you want it to go? Now that we have your manuscript all together, we have your pictures now. So I was able to tell them exactly what I wanted because God has showed it. I had a vision of it. And so I was telling them, okay, I want a picture. Like if you're going to start with the inch, I want the picture of the character inch. Then I want the story. And then we went to the next character, the foot. Then I want the story for foot. Right. The picture of the yard, then the story. Picture, story, all throughout the book.
All right.
And I used the hand like this here because the hand is almost like the contents. Okay. Oh, okay. And you see this hand, it's all about linear measurement. And if you look at the next hand that I have, capacity. And the next hand is about weight. And then the next one, temperature, and then time. So there are 5 different hands, 5 different hands in the book. And each hand has some vocabulary, some have vocabulary, some have the tools for measuring. And so that was an awesome way that God gave me to do that. So that's why I use my hands a lot. And the children would use their hands to remember what I had taught them.
Right.
They knew what the pinky was. They knew that the pinky represented the inch. They knew that the next finger represented the foot. They knew that the next finger was the yard. And they knew that the next one was the mile. And they knew that that thumb was the tools for measuring.
Right.
For linear measurement.
Where I would go to the superintendent of elementary schools and say, this is it. This is a book I wrote, and the kids need to know this because the kid is hard. I'm telling you, and I don't have to tell you because you've been in there, and that we have some educators on here. It's hard for them to grasp all that information. So if they see it, me myself, I'm visual.
Yes. That's exactly right.
And so if they see this and you drill them over and over and over with it, they'll get it. They'll get it.
Right.
They'll say something like, Miss Larzo ain't playing. She want him to have us know this measurement.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, that is absolutely right.
And tell them that this is a book that I wrote, and I would love for you to put this out in your schools and everything. I'm sure they can't turn it down because of what it is.
I've been told that. I've been told that by many people. Thank you, Deborah. And that's my plan to go there. And I've also sent in some information. I've emailed someone there, maybe the lady that's over the math department, but I think Dr. Angelo. I will be going to talk to her because that's what I was instructed to do. However, and I'm just hoping they will because the kids, they are fascinated by the book. Why? Because the characters are telling their own story. The teacher can do so much, but when they have this person in the book, okay, the person is talking to them directly, and they're reading what the person is saying, and then they're telling you, hey, you can use me for this, you can use me for that. And it just makes the story known.
Even if they use the students as models, you see what I'm saying? Okay, hey, Jane, you're going to be inch. Okay,
that's right.
You know, they
And
love that. They love to get involved. You know, so
yes, and I'm going to have all that, because they can use they can use the book in reading too. That's another thing. What you're saying, they can use it in reading. They can act it out. This
exactly.
book is not limited to just teaching math.
Right.
Measurement. They can use it for writing. They can use it for reading. Theater arts. I'm telling you, it can be done. It really
Right.
can be done.
Love,
And I'm
love,
going to have some kits to go with the book as well in the future.
right.
Kits.
Right. And
Yeah.
y'all, please share this. Let other people know that Nancy Larzo is on tonight, and she's sharing her book to measuring. And now she also has a CD. Tell us about your CD.
Okay, here's the CD. Thank you, Deborah, so much. And
Welcome.
trying to get some of the lighting off. Okay, but it's entitled The Multiplication Facts Jingle. And this here was birthed in the classroom as well. One day, this particular year, I had an ESL class. Everyone was ESL except for maybe 4 kids in the room, or maybe 5. Anyway, I was teaching them the multiplication facts because that's where we were at that particular time. The children were having a very difficult time memorizing the facts. And as you know, Deborah, and I know, when we couldn't memorize them, if we had to get up in front of the class and say them, you know what would happen to us. You get your hand popped, your behind pop. And we had to do what we had to do. We had to learn. We had to memorize those multiplication facts. So one day, I was trying everybody. I had sent papers home. I told the parents the children need to learn them by X amount of time. And when we would drill in the classroom, they couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. So one day, this song, it just came to me. It was a song of Jingle Bell. Okay. And out of the blue, once again, I had prayed. I was able to sing the multiplication timetables to the tune of Jingle Bells. Mm-hmm. And so I did. I'm going to show you. I did one with the 3s. And I don't know if you remember, during that time, Mr. Wells. I'm too young. Wayne Wells was principal, and he, when I told Mr. Wells about it, he wanted me to do it on the stage, and he allowed me to do that with my class on stage during the Christmas program, because they had like a program in December. We had been working on the facts in October, or what have you, even in November. So that was a perfect time to do that song. Right. So anyway, we got up there, and the song goes like this, and you can sing it with any of them. And I do have the CDs here at home with me. They're not on Amazon yet, but I'm going to get them there. But I do have a whole lot that you can order. And here's one. And you can sing with me, Deborah, if you like. 3 times 1 is 3. Oh. 3 times 2 is 6. Oh, yeah. 3 times 3 is 9. And 3 times 4 is 12. Oh. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 6 is 18. 3 times 7 is 21. And 3 times 8 is 24. Oh, 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 10 is 30. Yeah. 3 times 11 is 33. And 3 times 12 is 36. Hey, 3 times 9 is 27. 3 times 10 is 30. Yeah. 3 times 11 is 33. And 3 times 12 is 36. Hey. Like I want to tell you, those Hispanic children, those Hispanic children and those other students, they learned those timetables, and they were so happy they didn't have to just say them. They could sing them to me as long as they knew, and they got them right too. So because of that, I wanted to do that CD that particular year. However, the people that I went to, they said they could not help me. They couldn't help me. But you know what? I didn't write it off. They said no, but I didn't stop out of no, Deborah. God put it in my heart. He said, you're going to get this done because it's going to help many other children. And so this didn't sit on the shelf that long. It only sat on the shelf maybe for about a year, and maybe about 3 years. But I thank God I had it published in December. It was done in December. So that's a done deal. Yeah. And you can do it with all the tables. You can even sing it with the 12s. And I go all the way from the 1s to the 12s. I also have a book, a sing-along book that goes with the CD. And that has to be published. What grade level is that? Where's what now? Grade level? Grade level, this is going to be 3rd grade. It can be 1st, 2nd, 3rd. Even 4th graders can use it because there are many 4th and 5th graders who do not. They do not know their timetable. And we can even go to 6th and 7th and 8th grade. honey, you know, they're not learning those tables. But if they get that CD, and it is elementary, but it will help you.
And
Children, you need to learn.
Not to cut you off or anything, but I'm going to go back to when the pandemic hit. If you had put that out then, because that's when they went virtual.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that they could have sat at home, learned all that, because they because when they get to that STAR test in third grade and they don't know multiplication facts or what all the measurements and stuff like that, they don't.
Yes, that's right. They're lost. That's right. They're lost.
We got to be real. We talk about our kids.
That's right.
That's right. Because they need to know all of this. You know, we work with them, and you know, if little John feel like he don't want to work today, little John not gonna work.
Oh, that's right. He's not. That's right.
Work, but
if you can get little Johnny to sing the song, you know what? Because little Johnny likes the music. You hear me? Oh yeah, they like music. So you know what? A lot of things that some children they learn that way. If you want them to teach a rap song or to learn a rap song, oh, they can do that just like that. So just like they can learn that rap song, they can learn these multiplication facts on this CD, singing it to the tune of Jingle Bells. Amen.
You just said it just now. Now you're gonna have to do another one that's in rap version.
That's right. Okay, I got you. Let's get it done.
Came into that rap.
Yes.
To jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way.
We got somebody who can rap it too. I got one of my grandsons. I'll get him to rap it. Oh yes. And I plan to do a video. I'm gonna do a video with it.
How many grandchildren you got?
24.
You one of those 24.
Oh yes, I have one who can rap it. And all my grandchildren, as a matter of fact, I gave one to each household. So I'm sure they have been listening and learning. Even though you don't have to wait till you're in the third grade. No. They start listening now. I'm telling you,
they don't learn.
I played it one day. I played the CD one day in a classroom because the children were working on the timetables. That's what they were studying. And do you know they were so happy to sing it with the music? They could do their 2s and their 3s, but still they were looking at the timetables. But over time, if they would have kept singing, they wouldn't need. You can pull the paper away from them. You see what I'm saying?
And you know, I'm so excited about your writing and all that you've done with that. I don't want to get out of time when I got a whole 50,000.
Well, y'all go and get this book. Get the book because I'll tell y'all this is a great book. The illustrations, and then in the book, someone did say they said they liked the way I had to play with the words. I have some rhyme in here, some rhyming words, personification all through the book. Alliteration, it's a whole lot of stuff in there.
They need all that.
And I would encourage every teacher in the district, they need this book to teach. And they could use it as a supplement. They really could.
Right. When you see them in the grocery store, just throw it in their basket. They don't,
And also, Deborah, I'm going to try to get with Scott Forsman, Addison Wesley. I want them to know about this book too, because that may be something they want to use. And you know, in our country, this book is standard measurement. I'm also working on one for metric measuring, but all countries have changed over to metric, converted to the metric system, except the U.S. We're still using the customary system.
We have so many Hispanics here. You're gonna have.
I'm sorry, we're still using the standard system for measuring. Go ahead.
Right. Since we have a lot of Hispanics here, you're gonna have to put it in their language. So
in Espanol. Okay, I plan to do that too. Opera House has another thing.
You got all my thoughts now. I'm gonna have to get paid on this one.
Yeah, I already mentioned it to them. I wanted to do that. Yes.
So I just talked to you about your book and everything. Let's talk to the audience about you being a TV host. Okay, so what type of TV host are you?
I'm a talk show host. What I do, I interview people for my show, Vision Speaks Phase 2. I'm now in Phase 2 because 07, 08, 09, 2007, 2008, 2009, I aired on TV, and I aired maybe once a week. I would interview people, ministers, people in prison ministry from Antioch were on my show. several people. They would be on there regularly. And then I had people from out of town would come. I had one lady on from Appaloosa. I interviewed her concerning her prayer ministry. I had others who I interviewed, just different topics, even Yusuf Muhammad. One year he was on and I interviewed him concerning an update on the tax laws. So I think it was maybe 2008, the year 2008, I interviewed him. And Yusuf is very big here in our city in Beaumont. He's one of the top tax people there is. I think he started along with some others. He started that business. So I was very honored to have him on the show. And he said he would come back on and be interviewed again because the information that he gave was very valuable. And so I started airing again 2019. I started back up. I've interviewed Sherry Ulmer, which was the head of the health department here in Beaumont. I interviewed her concerning COVID-19. And what I like to do, Deborah, is give them update information that's very important to the total man. Their health is important. We have a lot of people now who suffer mental illness.
Oh, yeah.
And so I interviewed.
That subject's coming up pretty soon. That's one of my topics coming up pretty soon. So
I interviewed Heather Champion from Spin the Top. I interviewed her one-on-one concerning mental illness because my concern was, what are these people doing? We're dealing with COVID-19. We were on house stay at one point, and she was very valuable to the show as well. And so basically what Vision Speaks does, it gets information out to inform the public of things that they need to know that are important to their health, to their total man, not just their health, education-wise, because some people desire to go back to college. Some people think they're too old, but you're not too old. My show is very encouraging. It encourages people to get out of their comfort zone. As a matter of fact, I would say it will cause you to just walk into your purpose. That's what the show is all about, because God has given all of us talents. And I'm always reminded of this, the master that had the three servants.
Right.
And he gave the talents, he gave 1 10, 1 5, and 1 1. But the one who he gave 1 2, he just went and buried his. The others went and made something off of theirs. And so when the master came to see what they had done, okay, what have you done with what I gave you? The one who buried his, the master was totally upset with him because he said, you did nothing with what I gave you. Oh my goodness. So God wants us to use what he has given us. Right. He wants us to use it to his glory, to his honor, and it's going to help somebody, Deborah. It's going to help somebody. So Vision Speaks is a show that will help get your vision out there, my vision, and most of all, it's God's vision, because everybody has a vision.
So when you got the show, were you auditioned to have the show, or did you have to buy the time?
Actually, I had to pay for the time. And I knew I was going to have the show, but I just didn't know when, because that was another thing that God put in my heart to do, was a show, and it was a talk show, because growing up, I used to love to watch talk shows. Right. And you know what I love doing. I love, yes. That's just like preaching too. That's why, you know what? And I like to preach too, Deborah. But anyway, I love talking, and I love people, and I always want to help somebody. Right. Always willing to help. I grew up that way. So God gave me that show to do, and I just thank him. And I'm also promoting people on my show. I'm going to be interviewing someone for Mother's Day coming up. Overseer Bad is the lady I'm going to interview for Mother's Day. I have an author that I'm going to have on the show, a lady who has gone through so much in life, who's going to be very inspirational to others. And then I have a couple other people that I'm going to have on. But we have some great things coming up. And the Christmas show, it was awesome. Many people were blessed by the Christmas special. That show, we have so much talent here in Beaumont. Jonathan Williams, Bonnie Williams.
So what channel is it on?
That particular show aired on Channel 10, the CW channel. It's called paid programming. So anytime I want to air on television, which I plan to air the Mother's Day show on television, I want that one to air because there are many mothers out there who need to be encouraged. And I can't wait to, have that interview with Overseer Sandra Battles right here in Beaumont. But whenever I want to air, it will air on Channel 10, the CW channel.
So is it put out, or are we just should know your time and everything? How do you advertise it?
Well, actually, I get on Facebook, social media, and I always let them know that way. But since you are doing what you're doing, I will be sure to let you know. And I want to let you know the show doesn't just air in Beaumont. It airs in the whole Golden Triangle area, as well as Lake Charles, Louisiana. However, when I air the shows I'm getting ready to air for next month, I'm going to air them, but I want them to be on Facebook. We're going social media. We're going YouTube. Why? Because a lot of things, people are not watching TV like they used to. Most people are on social media. And that's where the videos are. That's what
it's all about. Yeah. That's all about social media. Right. So who writes the material for your episodes?
I do. I write, and what I do, I have the people who I'm interviewing. They can write questions that they would like for me to ask them. And they have to get those to me by way of email. Also, I come up with some of my own that other people, I think the public want to know. And we shoot it like that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that'll work. Like, do you ask open-ended questions or what?
I do have some open-ended questions that I ask. And they can just, we call it shoot from the hip. Whenever you ask open-ended, some they can just answer yes or no. But most of them, they do have to explain or elaborate on. So yes.
So give the viewers the name of the show again.
The name of my show is Vision Speaks Phase 2, and it will be coming on Facebook Live. It will be on Facebook, not Facebook Live, I'm sorry. We will air it on social media, Facebook and YouTube. I do have a camera guy who does my filming for me. So that's why it will not be Facebook Live, because I have to pay a camera person to film my show. So I also will be asking for donations.
Do you ask for donations, or is this you pay out your own pocket, or what?
I ask for donations. I always ask for donations. So I will be asking for donations because everything I do is going to be it's something to help somebody. So if you don't mind helping somebody to help somebody else, please consider Vision Speaks Phase 2, sending in donations. And I ask for whatever you can give, and I will give you my Cash App. At that time, I do have a Cash App there, and I get that information to you as well.
Okay.
Because you're doing a great job. I like how you keep us updated with information in our city. With the COVID-19, I thought, wow, that's awesome. Who would have thought to do that? I really appreciate you for that. You're awesome. Also, with what you're doing with the candidates and all that, you've had all of them on your show. I just thank you for that as well, because we need to know who to vote for. But anyway, let me get back to Vision Speaks Phase 2. Y'all keep my show in mind. And I want to give a shout out to Sean Proctor, because I'm going to tell you, it touched my heart, Deborah. When I first started out, first of all, I want to give a shout out to my pastor, Apostle McKinnon August, because he's one of my biggest supporters. And he supports me in everything I do. Not just me, but everybody, there at my church. So I thank God for him. But when I went to Sean Proctor about my show, I don't even know Sean. Sean doesn't know me. But when I told him what I was doing, he looked at me and he said, you know what? I'm going to support you. He said, I will do a commercial for you. And he said, because I believe in you and I'm going to help you get that done. And that spoke volumes to me about what kind of person he was. You see what I'm saying? Didn't know me. I didn't have anything to show him that I had already done. But he trusted me. And I just thank God for him doing that. That touched my heart. It really did. And then he told me I could come back and he would continue to support me.
Nancy must thought this was Magic 102.5. Give me a shout out. I'm just playing with you.
I just want to, I believe in giving props.
Give them a shout out. Well, that's good. That's good. You know who true people are, So.
Yes, that's right.
Let's go because we're running out of time. So let me ask you about your ministry. When were you called into the ministry?
I was called into the ministry, I would say, Deborah, at a young age. I just didn't know it because growing up as a little girl, I was always going to people trying to point them in the right direction. I didn't like seeing people mistreat other people. I didn't like seeing people doing wrong things. And I would go to them as a young girl, you know, and talk to them and tell them nicely. I was so strange, and I know I got on some people's nerve. I even had, growing up in school, I was bullied. I was bullied because I didn't like to fight. I wasn't a fighter, but it wasn't that I couldn't fight. I wasn't afraid. It was just something I didn't want to do. And I'll never forget that I got stabbed in the back, the back of my neck in third grade because someone wanted to copy my paper and I didn't want them to copy my paper. I used to hate for people to copy my work. Yes. Okay. And so they were mad. And so, you know, the children, they would want us to fight each other. As a matter of fact, the girl who did it, she was a friend of mine. But I told them this. I said, no, I'm not going to fight her. I didn't even tell my mom about what happened. I kept it to myself. I didn't tell them. I didn't tell, you know, and I remember when we got out of school that day that everybody was trying to get me to fight her because of what she did to me. But I never did fight her. And guess what? I continued to be her friend. And even with grown-ups, sometimes I would tell people, you know, you can't do this. You shouldn't be doing that. You know, God don't want you to do this. He doesn't want you to do that. But Deborah, I'm going to tell you this. When I was when I was 17, my senior year of high school, I joined the Pentecostal church. Prior to that, I was Methodist, and I love being Methodist. My mom brought me up in the Methodist church, and God blessed me in, you know, in that ministry. It was awesome. However, when I got in, and the reason I got in the Pentecostal church, I wanted to get the Holy Ghost, and they told me in order to get the Holy Ghost, you know, I had to do such and such. They told me I had to stop wearing pants. You hear me? Mm-hmm. So because of that, although I was a big time athlete, I'm like, okay, I got to give up my pants. So because I wanted to receive the Holy Ghost so bad, I did what they told me. My mom told me, Nancy, you don't have to quit your sports. My dad told me, you don't have to quit. You don't have to do that. The coach told me, everybody was telling me. My coach cried. My parents cried. Some of my brothers and sisters, I'm sure they cried because here I was, the best basketball defensive player on the team. I played 2 teams at one time. I played B team and varsity at the same time. And then I also, with the track, my coach used to allow all the runners, and they were predominantly white. And I used to think sometimes, is this man being prejudiced or what? But anyway, he would let them run. We had a few more African Americans on the team. However, he would let them run a whole block ahead of me. And after that block, he would say, okay, Nancy, you start. And I would always start, but I would leave them a whole block. You hear me? Mm-hmm. I would leave a whole block. So then I began to see that he was just pushing me to my potential because he knew what was in me. But when I gave that up, I gave up a 4-year scholarship because my senior year I quit. So they snatched the 4-year scholarship from me, full-time 4-year college scholarship. They also, I could no longer, I was voted the most athletic female for high school that year, most athletic. And they took that away from me. I lost that, as well as some other things. They had talked about me going to the Olympics because for the running, I lost out on all that. But, you know, I thank God because I said I did it because really in my heart, I really wanted to receive the Holy Ghost. And I did receive the Holy Ghost. But I realized years later that I didn't have to give up my sports. So I want to say that to every person out there, if religion is getting in your way, religion, not relationship, but religion will cause you to do some things that you don't have to do. So I thank God that, you know, that I know better. I know better.
Right.
I know better now. And I want to say this because I don't want to leave out anybody.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for supporting me, for my some other people who have given donations for Vision Speaks Phase 2. I want to thank you too and give a shout out to you as well. You know who you are. So I thank you. I thank you. I thank you.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And, you know, like I said, time is running short, but we're going to get off that subject, go on one more subject, which is educator. Okay. Why did you decide to become a teacher?
Okay, growing up, once again, I love children, Deborah. Oh, I love children. Children love me too. you could hardly pull a kid away from me. I used to always babysit for people, or even at church, the kids would just come and cling to me. And so my dad used to say, sometimes they used to spend the night at the house with me, everything. My dad would say, Nancy, I can't wait till you get grown and have your own children. And so I just had a desire to teach them because I saw something in children that was missing. And I said, if I ever could become a teacher, I would be able to impart in them what I see they have a need for. And God blessed me to do just that. I had a desire to be a part of their upbringing. And by becoming a teacher, I was able to impart in their lives. I was able to, touch them and teach them the things that they needed to be taught. I had patience. Oh, I had patience like Job. I had patience. And so being a teacher, you have to love children first and foremost. If you don't love children, you can't be a good teacher. And you have to have patience with them because you got to have patience. Some of them are fast learners. Some of them don't learn as fast as others. You got to be patient. So I had those qualities in me, and I thank God for blessing me. And I had some people to tell me, oh, you'll never become a teacher. Oh, you're not going to be this. You're not. Everything they told me I was not going to be, guess what? God blessed me to be that.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little synopsis on what would you leave with your listening audience or viewing audience about their goals, and how should they go about giving them, reaching them?
I would leave with them, whatever your goals, do set high goals for yourself. And this day and time, we have cheated ourselves out of a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And I'm speaking especially to our African-American women, men, we have to have a new mindset. We have to know that we are just as good as the other person. Nobody in this world is any better than you are. So you can set goals. You can become that business owner. You can start that ministry that's in your belly to start. You can get that CD out there. You can get that DVD out there. You can do it, that show, whatever it is you desire, that business that you desire to start. Just know you have to believe in yourself. And once you do that, you have to start reading up on different things that will help you to get those goals accomplished. Don't give up. If you don't know what to do, go to people. Don't have too much pride. Go and ask somebody. That's what I do. I'm not too proud to ask because I know I don't know everything, Deborah, and I don't mind asking. So I would say, whatever your passion is, go ahead and step into your purpose because God has a purpose for your life, and only you can make it happen.
Right.
Only you can make it happen for you.
Cheryl LeBlanc wants to say to you, awesome job, Nancy Larzo. We appreciate you tonight. Everybody, you heard from Nancy Larzo. She's an author. She's a minister. She's a TV host, and she's also an educator. So she has so many things that she's going with. And, the devil is busy, and he will try to come between whatever you're doing. But, you know God so much that that you can push through whatever you're doing. So God bless you is my prayer for you. Don't forget, everybody that tune in to Blue Table Talk on Thursday night, as Blue Table Talk interview Robert Walker. He's running for City Councilman Ward 3 at 6:30. So it's going to be Thursday night. It's going to be a double whammy. I had Nancy Larzo on tonight, which is Tuesday. Thursday night, I will have Robert Walker on. Also, listen to this. Also, the Urban Podcasters will have a debate with all candidates running for election on Saturday, April 3rd at 4:30 p.m. Tune into your favorite podcast to listen and ask questions. The hosts include DJ Man of DJ Man TV, Isaac Mouton, Tyrone Carmiel of The Perspective, Floyd Hope of The Kickback, Tony Renfro of Knowledge is Power, and of course yours truly, Deborah Jones with the Blue Table Talk. So tune in on Saturday at 4:30. Don't forget, 4:30. We're gonna have all of the candidates that's running for positions in Beaumont. So and you always know that my motto, and I always leave it with you guys. If I can help somebody as I pass along this way, then I know that it shall not be in vain. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. You guys have a marvelous night, and watch us again on Thursday night. Don't forget. I appreciate you, Nancy. Stay on to and let me get them off of.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you for the opportunity.
Anytime that you need me or you need to come on, I got you. I got you. Okay.
I appreciate that. And I got you too, sister. I got you too. For real, for real.
Yes. God bless you guys. Smooches to you guys. I'll see you later. Have a good night.
Mm.